Good evening, my fellow Panthers. How are you all? Good. I am Kaylee Smith, and I have had the amazing opportunity to serve as your 93rd Miss Prairie View A&M University.
Good evening, y'all. My name is Michael Azuwalu. I currently serve as the 43rd Mr. Prairie View A&M University.
This evening, we will be introducing your Mistress and Master of Ceremony. Introducing Amunique Liggins, a trailblazing student leader with a passion for service and advocacy. She currently serves as the Chief of Staff for the Student Government Association and is a member of Panther Fostering Success. She also holds the title of Miss Dallas and is a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. She is from Dallas, Texas, a junior majoring in communications with a concentration in mass communication. She is committed to leadership that creates lasting impact. Please welcome Amunique Liggins.
And introducing our Master of Ceremonies, Jaden Gundy, a driven student leader with a passion for advocacy, service, and student empowerment. He currently serves as special counsel in the executive branch of the Student Government Association and as a co-chair for the Panther Aid organization. He is also a finalist for Mr. Freshman Running and mentor with Building 36 through the PALS Mentorship Program. A sophomore majoring in business marketing with a minor in psychology from Dallas, Texas, and is committed to creating inclusive spaces and uplifting his fellow students through purposeful leadership. Please welcome Jaden Gundy.
Good evening and welcome to the State of the Hill Address, hosted by Prairie View A&M University Student Government Association, the 44th Legacy Administration. We are honored to gather with students, faculty, staff, administrators, alumni, and honored guests as we reflect on the student leadership and the collective voice of our campus community.
Tonight's program represents more than a report. It is a moment of transparency, accountability, and dialogue, rooted in the belief that student voices matter and leadership is a shared responsibility. Thank you for joining us for the State of the Hill. Your voice, your hill, your legacy.
I am Amunique Liggins, a junior majoring in mass communications with a minor in political science, coming from Dallas, Texas, and tonight I serve as your Mistress of Ceremonies.
And I am Jaden Gundy, a sophomore majoring in business marketing with a minor in psychology from Dallas, Texas, and I serve as your Master of Ceremonies. We will begin with an invocation by Corey Talton, the SGA chaplain, followed by the national anthem and the Black national anthem that will be performed by Joshua Lott, who serves as the SGA business manager. We ask that all guests please rise and remain standing for these presentations. Finally, we will have the posting of colors by the Panther Battalion Color Guard of the Army ROTC.
Good evening, everyone. I said good evening, everyone. Can I get every head bowed and every eye closed? Eternal God, source of wisdom, strength, justice, and purpose, we come before you with humility and gratitude. We thank you for this institution, for the minds gathered here, and for the opportunity to serve something greater than ourselves. We acknowledge that leadership is not a title, but a responsibility, not a privilege, but a calling. In this moment, we pause to remember that every decision made within these walls has the power to shape lives, futures, and generations yet to come. Grant wisdom to our student leaders as they steward the trust placed in them. Let integrity guide their actions, courage steady their voices, and compassion inform every choice. Teach us to listen deeply, to lead boldly, and to act justly. especially when work is difficult and the path is yet unclear. May our leadership reflect not personal ambition, but collective progress, not comfort, but conviction, not silence, but truth. Bless this campus community, students, faculty, staff, and administrators. Unite us among difference and strengthen us in moments of challenge. As we reflect on where we have been and cast vision for where we are going, may our efforts be rooted in equity, guided by wisdom, and driven by the love for this community. We commit this gathering, this address, and this work into your care. And let us all say, amen.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicings rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of our new day.
Can we get one more round of applause for our SGA business manager?
Thank you all. You may now be seated. We will now proceed with tonight's program.
At this time, we would like to acknowledge a few special guests. Please stand to be recognized. Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Asir Nassim. The Senior Vice President of Business Affairs, Mr. Bob McKee. Vice President of Student Affairs, Mr. Edward Willis. The Associate Vice President for Student Affairs and the Dean of Students, Mr. Orok Orok. Associate Vice President and Chief of Police, Dr. Casey Davis. The Director of Student Leadership and Activities, SGA Advisor, and Interim Assistant Dean of Students, Ms. Alex Bird. Administrative Associate for Student Affairs, Ms. Valerie, AKA Ms. Gigi Gibson. Dean of the School of Public Health and Allied Health, Dr. Angela Branch Vital. Interim Dean of the Brailsford College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Wally Njidayu. Dean of the College of Juvenile Justice, Dr. Kareem Jordan. The 78th President of the Texas Southern University SGA, Pink Elsie, and her cabinet. Director of the Campus Activity Board, Xavier Goodman. The Student Government Association, or SGA, serves as an official voice for Prairie View A&M University students. The State of the Hills SGA foremost opportunity to engage the campus community in transparency and dialogue. It allows student leadership to reflect on progress, report on current initiatives, and outline priorities moving forward.
Tonight is not only about sharing information, it's about ensuring that students remain informed, empowered in the decisions that shape campus life.
The State of the Hill affirms our responsibility to lead with integrity and remain accountable to the student body.
SGA advocates for students' interests, represents students' concerns to the university administrators, and work to enhance the overall student experience. SGA is comprised of 3 branches: executive, legislation, and judicial, each committed to representing the student body.
This year's theme, Your Voice, Your Hill, Your Legacy, reflects that the belief that student leadership is personal and powerful.
Your voice speaks to advocacy, the right of every student to be heard and engaged. SGA exists to amplify those voices.
Your Hill represents ownership. Prairie View A&M University is our community. When students take pride in action, it shapes our culture and future.
Our legacy challenged us to think beyond the moment. The work we do today creates lasting impact for those who follow. Legacy is about the change we leave behind.
Together, this theme affirms that student government is not something done for students, but it is built by students. Tonight's State of the Hill reflects this commitment. It is a moment to listen and recommit ourselves to leadership grounded in service and purpose.
You will now hear from student leaders representing each class and branch of SGA. This evening program will proceed in the following order: the freshman class president, the sophomore class president, the junior class president, the senior class president, the chief justice of SGA, the executive vice president of SGA, the comptroller of SGA, and finally, the State of the Hill address by SGA president.
We will now begin with remarks from our class presidents, starting with Freshman Class President Alyssa Sheriff.
Good evening, everybody. Hi. Members of the University Cabinet, SJ leadership, faculty, staff, and my fellow Panthers. My name is Alyssa Sheriff, a political science major all the way from Compton, California. I currently serve as your freshman class president on the 44th administration at Prairie View A&M University. First and foremost, I want to express my gratitude to God for this opportunity and to my dedicated class council members who are all in attendance today. I love you guys all so much for their unwavering support in our journey to authentic leadership. To my cohorts, Miss Freshman, Mr. Freshman, our class justice, and also our class vice president. Entering into college is an exhilarating transition, a leap from adolescence to adulthood. It's a shift that no one really prepares you for, but that everyone talks about. One day, your life is meticulously planned, and then the next, you're making all of the important decisions on your own. While freedom is thrilling, it is also a time to finding yourself, discovering your place, and envisioning life beyond these walls. As your freshman class president, my goal is to make this journey of self-discovery as welcoming, supportive, empowering, and enthusiastic as I possibly can. I want every freshman to have the tools they need to succeed and make this their home. This semester, I envision our class to be engaged, present, and fully involved. Prairie View offers numerous opportunities for excellence, and it is vital that we highlight and leverage those opportunities every day. I am focused on building not just a class, but a family, and establishing a class council that embodies leadership and innovation, shaping the legacy of the class of 2029. I aspire for our class not just to attend events, but to contribute to the meaningful conversations being had in these very rooms, and leaving a lasting impact that no matter what the situation, we are prepared. To foster connection, I plan to host events twice a month, designed to be social, interactive, educational, but most importantly, resourceful. These gatherings will help freshmen explore, have fun, and navigate campus life with confidence. Accessibility is essential. It is vital to our growth. This semester, I promise that the class council and all freshman leaders will be visible, approachable, and supportive, ensuring that we work as a team, uplifting one another and addressing issues within our community. Joining organizations builds not only resumes, but it also builds confidence, friendships, and a genuine sense of belonging. I want our freshman class to be known for its energy, for our productivity, for our collaboration with career coaches, financial aid, and academic advising. Collaborating with these people helps us build our purpose in our education and find our purpose in our futures. When students feel connected and supported, it elevates our entire campus community. In closing, I challenge each and every freshman to take your own leadership and ownership of your college experience. Attend these events, join these amazing organizations on campus, and step outside of your own comfort zone. College is truly what you make it. If I've learned anything in leadership, it is truly what you make it. College is your time to explore. It's your time to grow and define excellence within yourself individually. Take these time to make your own mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and build a family. Together, let's build a family and legacy that we can all be proud of. Thank you.
Next, we will introduce sophomore class president Gabriella Givens.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gabrielle Givens, a sophomore civil engineer major from Lafayette, Louisiana, and I am proud to serve as your Madam President of Class of 28. Our council is known as the Power of 28 because we are our strength, which comes from unity, resilience, showing up for one another. This fall semester was not easy, but it showed me just how independent and capable our class truly is. Many of us had to figure things out on our own. And instead of falling behind, we adjusted, pushed through, and kept going. That determination defines who we are. Everything that I've worked on this past semester connects back to my platform. I ran on OHANA, which stands for Organize, Heart, Advocate, Nature, and Achieve. With that foundation, I am focused on improving student life and making sure students felt heard. I personally wrote 3 bills addressing everyday concerns that students brought forward. These include fixing washers and dryers, fixing the sprinklers, and adding trash cans to phases 1 and 2. These were not just ideas, they were actions taken to advocate for real student needs. One initiative I am especially proud of is HBCU Link Up, which focuses on collaborating and connecting with other HBCUs. This initiative reflects organize and achieve parts of my platform by creating opportunities of shared events, networking, collective growth. It also reminds us that we are part of something bigger than just our own campus. When it comes to challenges, it is hard to name just one thing our entire class struggled with together. That is because we're such an independent class. People stepped up, leaned on one another, and handled challenges quietly and effectively. This is another clear example of the power of 28. Looking ahead to the spring semester, our focus is growth, service, and consistency. We have several events coming up, including Beads and Bingo to celebrate Mardi Gras, Sophomore Week service initiatives such as making Valentine's Day cards for local children's hospital and picking up trash around the campus. These events reflect the heart and nature part of my platform. Giving back, caring for others, and taking pride in our university. But none of this works without you. Being involved does not mean doing everything, but it simply means showing up, giving feedback, and supporting one another. Every contribution matters. The class of 2028 has already proven that we are resilient, capable, and driven. This spring is our chance to build what we started, expanded impact on, and off campus, and continue to show the true meaning of the power of 28. Thank you.
You are next.
We will now introduce Junior Class President Montrell Cage Jr.
Good evening. My name is Montrell Cage Jr., an agricultural major with a minor in pre-veterinary studies from New Orleans, Louisiana, proudly serving as your junior class president. From the beginning of this term, my platform has been rooted in service, preparing students for life after college, and developing well-rounded individuals. And this semester, my work reflects that commitment. As we revisit the fall semester, I want to take a moment to highlight the work that the class of 2027 has done to serve, support, and advocate for students. This semester was centered on engagement, transparency, and creating spaces where student voices and contributions were truly recognized. One of our most significant achievements this fall was our commitment to programming that directly improved student life and strengthened our campus community. One such initiative was What's on the Ballot, where we informed students about what they would be voting on and why their voices mattered. By making the voting process more accessible and understandable, we empowered students to participate with confidence and intention. We also participated in Changes on the Hill, an event that created an open forum for students to express concerns, share feedback, and discuss issues impacting their campus experience. This initiative emphasized accountability and communication, allowing students to be heard while giving us the opportunity to better advocate on their behalf. In addition to advocacy, we prioritize service and compassion through our event Hugs in a Blanket, where we work together to create a warm, handmade blanket for patients at Texas Children's Hospital. This event reminded us of the importance of giving back and using our platform to support communities beyond our campus. Another impactful initiative we launched this semester was MVP, or Most Valuable Panther of the Week. Through this initiative, we highlighted students in our class who stood out through leadership, service, positivity, or dedication. MVP allowed us to celebrate students who often go unrecognized and reinforce a culture of appreciation and encouragement. Of course, this semester was not without challenges. Balancing academic responsibilities with organizing meaningful initiatives required adaptability and teamwork. There were moments when we had to adjust plans or rethink our approach, but those challenges strengthened our communication and problem-solving skills. As we look toward the spring semester, our focus is on building momentum. We plan to expand student engagement opportunities, continue advocacy-centered programming, grow initiatives like MVP, and host events that promote dialogue, service, and personal development. Our goal is to be proactive, intentional, and impactful in everything we do. I want to take a moment to sincerely thank the members of my junior class council. Your dedication, teamwork, and commitment to serving our class do not go unnoticed. The work we accomplished this semester would not have been possible without your time, ideas, and shared vision of developing well-rounded students. As I close, I encourage every student to stay engaged, attend events, serve your community, invest in your personal growth, and take advantage of opportunities that prepare you, not just for graduation, but for the future beyond it. Student leadership thrives when students participate. Together, we can continue to strengthen our campus, uplift one another, and cultivate a community that develops well-rounded Panthers who are prepared to lead, serve, and succeed after college. Thank you.
Finally, we would like to welcome Senior Class President Kennedy Autry.
Good evening, Panthers. My name is Kennedy Autry, a senior criminal justice major with a minor in cybersecurity. I am honored to serve as the senior class president. This fall semester has been a season of growth, collaboration, and purpose for my council. I am proud to share what we have accomplished together. Over the course of the fall semester, our most significant achievement has been laying a strong foundation for student connection and representation. Through planning and teamwork, my council focused on creating initiatives that reflect the needs, voices, and experiences of our classmates. Whether through class-wide communications, student-centered programming, or advocating for student-focused priorities, our goal was simple: to ensure students felt seen, supported, and informed as we navigate the next part of our lives. These efforts strengthened class unity and improved overall senior unity on campus. Of course, the semester did not come without challenges. One of the biggest obstacles we faced was balancing communication and participation during a busy academic season. Many students were juggling classes, work, and personal responsibilities, which made engagement difficult at times. This was not only a setback that we used to get over obstacles. We adjusted by improving how we shared information, with being intentional with outreach, and working together as a council to remain flexible and student-focused. These lessons have made us a stronger and more responsive leadership body. As we look ahead to the spring semester, our goal was even bigger. We plan to expand programming that prepares students for life after graduation, including career development opportunities, senior-focused events, and initiatives that leave a lasting impact on campus. We are committed to creating experiences that are not only meaningful, but also beneficial. Whether through professional preparation, community building, or celebrating milestones as a class. I want to close by emphasizing that class presidents are nothing without student involvement. We encourage you to engage with us, attend events, share your ideas, and hold us accountable. Your voices matter, and your participation helps shape the experience of our entire class. Together, we can make this spring semester impactful, memorable, and truly represent a true representation of who we are. Thank you for your time, your support, and for allowing me to serve you. I look forward to everything my class and I will accomplish this semester. Thank you.
will now present our Chief Justice, Anessa Wright, for her remarks.
Good evening, Panthers. I want to start by saying thank you to everyone who showed up tonight, students, faculty, administration, and fellow student leaders. The State of the Hill matters because it gives us a space to reflect honestly on where we are and where we'd like to be as a campus. My name is Anessa Renee Wright. I am a senior criminal justice major graduating this May. Can my graduating seniors make some noise? I'm from Round Rock, Texas, and I have the pleasure of serving as your Chief Justice for the 44th, along with the 43rd administration of the Student Government Association. Being entrusted with this role for 2 consecutive administrations has truly been an honor and a responsibility that I do not take lightly. Before I go any further, I could not stand in front of you without first thanking God for blessing me with this opportunity and my family who have been my support system every step of the way. From the moment I arrived on campus, I knew I wanted to be involved. I began as freshman class justice, served as sophomore and junior class justice, before being elected as chief. Each role prepared me to serve with purpose and deepen my commitment to advocating for my peers. While the judicial branch may not always be the forerunners of SGA initiatives, the work we do fosters meaningful change in our respective areas and ensures fairness, accountability, and integrity across student government. This year, among our key accomplishments, we updated the governing documents and provided the soon-to-be 45th administration with refreshed materials, some of which had not been updated since 2019. Our responsibility is to make sure that SGA operates constitutionally and ethically, while also serving students through our work on parking appeals and the Student Code of Conduct committees. Students, I would like to reassure you, we have heard your concerns about parking, whether it's about double ticketing in the parking lots, concerns about where you can park, and transparency between the parking administrators and the students. We are working tirelessly to provide solutions for you all, and I advise you guys to continue to keep advocating for your problems. This year, we have, once again, continued working closely with parking appeals, reviewing cases and advocating for fairness in the process. I want to take a moment to make this common knowledge for all students, because this is where a lot of confusion and frustration comes from. If your appeal falls under any of these 9 reasons, it will not be approved. Number 1 being lack of knowledge of the regulations. Other vehicles are parked improperly. You only parked illegally for a short period of time. You parked with your flashers on. You previously never received a citation for similar violations. You were late to class or an appointment. The inability to pay a fine or parking costs. No other spaces available, and bad weather. Understanding this ahead of time can save you time and frustration. Parking appeals exist to ensure fairness, but it still operates under clear guidelines. And students, I also want to remind you of this. While no one enjoys receiving a parking ticket, our parking administrators are still regular people doing their jobs. I want to be clear. I, alongside EVP Fowler and President Doucette, we are regular students. And we've all experienced the frustrations of being ticketed in the parking lots. And that's exactly why we're here to help. I encourage you to start having conversations with the parking staff, ask questions, and build connections. Many issues can be avoided through communication and understanding before they ever become problems. This year, the judicial branch has also focused on improving the Student Code of Conduct. We are working closely with the Office of Student Conduct to make the process clearer, more transparent, and better align with the realities that students face today. Our goal is to ensure that every student knows their rights, understands the process, and has access to the resources they need. Advocacy is a two-way street. We can create programs, open doors, and provide resources, but meaningful change only happens when students engage. Your voice has power, but it has to be used intentionally and in the right spaces. Before I close, I would like to give a special shout out to the members of my branch who support me every day, and a special shout out to my special assistant and mentee, Karen Kelly, who is a tremendous support day to day. I could not do this work without all of you guys. More importantly, the judicial branch, along with the entire Student Government Association, is here to serve the students. If you ever have any questions, feel unsure about a process, or feel that you were treated unfairly, please do not hesitate to reach out. We are here to offer guidance, support, and help you connect to the proper parties or procedures when needed. This year's theme,
Your voice, your hill, your legacy. Reminds us that legacy isn't about titles, it's about impact. It's about the decisions we make today that will shape the student experience long after we have graduated. To the students of Prairie View A&M University, we are here for you, we are listening, and we remain committed to fairness in every decision that we make. As I close, I'll leave you with this quote that perfectly captures the work we strive to do. A true leader is a student first. Thank you all for trusting me to serve as your Chief Justice, and thank you for allowing us to continue building something more meaningful together. Thank you.
We will now move on through the program and go back to the classic dance ensemble. Next up, we have our comptroller, Kenneth Lee, for his remarks.
Good evening. My name is Kenneth Lee. I'm a senior finance major from Columbia, Maryland. It's an honor to be present before you, serving as comptroller of the 44th SGA administration. Stewarding the finances of each SGA branch and dozens of student organizations is a role that gives me great pride. It is with these student organizations that I bring you good news. With a starting budget of $130,000 overall and about $30,000 for the needs of student organizations, we have now served 7 organizations with a combined approval to leverage $11,500 in SGA resources. These requests are currently progressing through university administration. Organizations that have begun their purchasing process present across a wide variety of missions and purposes. Nearly every student need, interest, and engagement is supported by these resources through these organizations. Last semester, those 7 approved include Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, National Association of Black Journalists, Baker for a Cause, the Pink Pen, American Institute of Architecture Students, Panther Educators on the Rise, and Panther Anime Society. Furthermore, an additional 25 student organizations have received approval for a combined $35,000, for which they simply need to complete their request. You'll notice that those numbers add up to a bit more than $30,000. So if your organization is one that received approval to request resources but has not yet done so, step on it. First come, first served. Use of resources is separated into a few categories that help us track what, how, and why these purchases serve you as an involved student. Stationery and supplies, events, branding and marketing, and clothing uniforms capture most of what student organizations tend to order. So far, it's been a near even split between the 4 categories: branded tents and banners to represent an organization, kitchenware for baking, craft supplies for creative expression, even registration for a national convention. If your organization has a definitive present need that it can provide for our Panthers, if it's aligned with our guidelines, we will support it. Internally, I anticipate requests coming in from our class presidents as they prep their events for the semester, in addition to actions across all SGA branches. Students, if you're in an organization, get your president to join the Council of Student Presidents today. We're here to support you, and we're here to provide you resources. Just give us your patience, time, and dedication to your peers. Thank you all.
We will now introduce our Executive Vice President, Eddie Fallon III, for his remarks.
Good evening. It is an honor standing here before you today as your Executive Vice President for the 2025-2026 school year. Your presence shows your commitment to this campus and to our community. As we take a time to pause or address the state of our campus, I would like to reflect and navigate the ups, the downs, and what has been completed. Starting in the summer 2025 as your freshly elected Student Senate President, I set clear intentions for your legislative branch and for myself as a leader. I wanted our branch to be seen and heard as a united force, not scattered voices, but one body working with one purpose. I wanted to lead with a mindset solely placed in the service driven by the success and the happiness of the people I work with today, committed to delivering for the students we represent. I often describe the Senate as the hands and the feet of the organization. Just like mine and your body, you cannot function without these limbs. SGA cannot operate without the Senate. They move the work forward, they create momentum, they turn ideas into the actions. And when we set a quota back in September of 15 solid pieces of legislation, I knew back in September when we did it on the second meeting, we could get the ball rolling. You may have noticed throughout the part of this address, I've spoken in terms of us and your, because the Student Senate belongs to you. We do not own these positions. These positions belong to each and every student. In every meeting, I try to remind our members, we fight for something that's bigger than ourselves, and we try to fight for our students. Because serving in these roles, it requires a tremendous amount of selflessness. It requires gathering information and listening to understand students. It requires for advocating the needs that may not affect you personally, but matter deeply to the people that you represent. One of my early goals was to instill traditions and pride for the university that students could feel and remember. I started with the 2029 class project. Thanks to organizations like our Panther Advisory Leaders and our P3 mentors, the class of 2029 became the first class to take a photo in this new tradition and legacy we speak about. Now let's talk about the work that's been done. This semester, we have done 56 pieces of legislation, including 28 Senate bills, 15 Senate resolutions, representing voices and your concerns from across this campus. If you're a member of the Student Senate, please rise. Congratulate them. Y'all can sit down now. Y'all can sit down now. These are the people that fight for your voices and your needs every single day. We've hosted 5 town halls across the College of Arts and Sciences and the Science Department, the College of Agriculture, the College of Business, and the College of Architecture. These conversations matter. They help us understand what students want and need. Deans, assistant deans, and department heads, thank you first and foremost for being here. I challenge you, if you have not met with your student representative yet, please, in our closing reception, find your student representative. As we transition to one of our largest priorities this year, campus safety, a lot of our senators have took it upon themselves to check emergency blue poles around our campus. They've also pushed for ADA buttons for all academic departments and buildings, and ongoing service with off-campus housing, making sure that it's up to standard for our off-campus Panthers. These surveys totaled in over 10,000 responses from students to understand what we're experiencing in our everyday life. We've also had senators find safety concerns like open electrical faucets in the architecture building and double ticketing like our Chief Justice just spoke about. Now, as we move from the good, I want to also be transparent and acknowledge what hasn't been done. Issues internally with legislation removal, personal agendas, and overall clarity have been created obstacles that we had to confront. These are ongoing work pieces that I continue to strategically address every single day. But there are also areas that we are actively working to improve throughout this semester in the spring. Like expanded voter education, civil engagement, and advocating for infrastructure stability. This affects your overall well-being as a Panther in everyday life. As I close, I want to thank y'all. Thank you for trusting us with your support and pushing us to be better. The Hill is strong because of you. And together we will continue to build a campus that reflects the excellence that we stand for. A lasting quote that sticks with me every single day. Perfection may be what some people call impossible or unachievable, but I cannot wait at the end of this semester of the excellence that we have achieved along the way. Thank y'all so much.
And now please help us introduce the 44th president of the Student Government Association, Jaquavius Doucette, for a State of the Hill address.
Good evening, how y'all doing? Well, thank y'all so much for being here. Well, good evening, everyone, to the students of Prairie View A&M University, to our faculty, staff, administrators, alumni, community partners, and honored guests. Before we begin tonight's State of the Hill address, I want to ground us in the spirit of this institution. The spirit captured so beautifully in our alma mater. The song reminds us, for memories dear, for friends and recollections, for lessons learned while here we lived with thee. For these we pledge our hearts full of devotion to serve thee now and through eternity. Those words are more than lyrics. They are a promise, a reminder of who we are, what we represent, and the legacy we carry forward. Greetings, I am Jaquavius Shamad Doucette, a rising senior, a graduating senior, majoring in communications with a minor in criminal justice from Orlando, Florida. And I have the privilege and the honor of serving as the 44th Student Government Association President and the 20th Student Regent for the Texas A&M University System Board of Regents. Thank you all for joining us. I see so many familiar faces in the night, and I'm grateful that you chose to spend your evening here. This is the second annual State of the Hill Address, a moment for reflection, for listening, and for charting the path forward. Before anything else, I want to first officially and recognize the officers and members of the Student Government Association. Please stand to be recognized, the entire 44th administration, including Panther aides and class councils. Thank you so much for your dedication. Your dedication to the mission of the 44th administration and to the student body we serve is the reason we're able to move this campus forward. Thank you. You may be seated. When I ran for office, it was never about holding a title. I've lost elections before, and I continue serving this student body regardless of any position. I ran because I believed, and still believe, that student government should work for students, not simply exist beside them or be reserved for the most popular among us. My campaign theme, A Promised Hill, it was inspired by the 44th President of the United States of America, President Barack Obama. And honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, I didn't even realize I'd be the 44th SJ president until someone on my campaign team pointed it out. So shout out to them for helping the vision come to life. Just like our alma mater calls us to exemplify Prairie View's teaching and strive to be a blessing, this administration stands committed to honoring that charge through service, through leadership, and through unwavering devotion to this hill. But the State of the Hill is not just about a campaign theme, it is about the promise. My platform focuses on three major pillars: financial and economic stability, to provide our students with the necessary tools to be financially free in college, and to improve the overall relationship and communication response with financial services. My second point, student success and campus essentials. To ensure that everything that a student needs to be successful on campus is worked in effectively, from housing to auxiliary services, to ensure that students have the necessary campus resources. And finally, my favorite, redefining student leadership. To ensure not only to lead, but to teach others and bringing them with me, and to get rid of that narrative in SGA that student leadership is selective and it's only those with clout that can get in. The State of the Hill exists for one reason: accountability. Accountability to the students who place their trust in us, accountability to the hill we call home, and accountability to the legacy we are building for those who will follow. I am ecstatic to report that since taking office, this administration has hit the ground running. We have shown up in the community, whether in delivering meals to seniors in the community, supporting local initiatives, and we have shown up for our students, advocating for safety, supporting our athletes, and being present where our voices are needed. We have maintained high visibility and consistent action. I have issued multiple executive orders, released presidential statements on different topics, and participated in more than a dozen administrative meetings, and executed several initiatives on behalf of the student body. One of the major shifts this year, because our VP and a lot of us mentioned safety, has been the introduction of the new scooter and micromobility policy. And look, I'm a scooter owner myself, and I can honestly say that this policy was needed. We all saw the rapid increase of scooters on campus. What started off as convenience quickly became safety hazard. Scooters were speeding through pedestrian areas, blocking walkways and accessibility ramps, and created situations where injuries were becoming more and more likely. And on top of that, we saw a rise in scooter thefts on campus, which added another layer of concern for students. This new policy addresses these issues directly, and a few points to include that I should mention is that yes, there is a $10 registration fee, which isn't just a fee. It will help fund more scooter racks across campus, allows the university to assist students who may need locks or basic security needs and equipment. It would create designated parking areas to keep sidewalks and entrances clear. It will reduce traffic in high pedestrian zones, and it would also include accountability measures to ensure that scooters are operated safely and responsibly. So this policy is not about limiting students. It's about protecting students. It's about preventing injuries, reducing theft, and making sure that scooters remain a safe, accessible option for everyone on campus who decides to use them. And as I mentioned again, as someone who rides a scooter, I can tell you, this is a step we truly need. One of our signature events, A Day in the Life with the SGA President, truly opened the doors of leadership to students across majors and backgrounds. This wasn't just a tour or a shadowing opportunity or experience. It was an opportunity for students to sit in administrative meetings where real decisions were being discussed, engage with students across campus, attend different events across campus, and saw firsthand the weight, the responsibility, and the intentionality required in this role. For many, it was the first time they witnessed how advocacy happens behind the scenes. The negotiations, the planning, the collaboration, and the constant balancing of student needs with institutional processes. And it allows students to see that leadership is not about titles or popularity. It is about service, preparation, and showing up consistently. To me, redefining student leadership means leading by example and creating pathways for others to lead right alongside me. It means breaking down the idea that SGA is exclusive or reserved for a select few. But through this initiative, we show students that leadership is accessible, leadership is teachable, and leadership is meant to be shared. In addition to this work, I have signed and approved more than over 20 bills and resolutions from the legislative branch. So please get up for the Student Senate one more time. Each bill from the Student Senate that I've signed represents student concerns, student ideas, and student-driven solutions. The bills reflect the collective effort of the engaged student body and an engaged legislative branch committed to making progress. While I'm proud of what we have accomplished, leadership also requires honesty. It requires honesty about the challenges that we continue to face. Not every issue can be solved overnight. Not every system moves at the pace that students want or deserve, and not every answer comes immediately. But acknowledging these realities is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of responsibility. If we are going to protect this hill, we must be first willing to confront the areas where improvement is needed. And let me be clear, Prairie View A&M University is rising. Prairie View A&M University is not just any institution. PVAMU continues to grow in enrollment, expand academic programs, increase research productivity, and strengthen student success outcomes. We're consistently recognized as the top HBCU, the highest ranked HBCU in the state of Texas, #1, and leading institutional for social mobility, helping students from all different backgrounds rise and succeed. But these accomplishments reflect the strength of our students, our faculty, and our legacy. But with that rise comes responsibility, our responsibility, to speak about our university with pride, to correct misinformation, and to uplift the institution that is uplifting us. Because if someone did not walk these grounds, sit in our classrooms, or experience the culture of this campus, they cannot define who we are as Panthers. And that brings me to us, students. We cannot afford to be passive participants in our own university experience. It is easy to complain about what isn't working, but it is harder and far more meaningful to show up, to speak up, and to be a part of the solution. When there are issues, we must be present. When decisions are not being made, we must be in the room. When change is needed, we must be willing to help create it. Because protecting in this hill is not just a slogan. It is a call to action, a call for engagement, for accountability, and for unity. because Prairie View moves forward when we all move forward together. PV. We have confronted challenges in capacity, communication, and navigating institutional processes that extend beyond student government. Progress requires persistence, patience, and difficult conversations. There are moments when advocacy meant pushing forward even when the response was, not yet. But let me be clear, for this administration, not yet has never meant never. Instead of retreating, we leaned in. Instead of growing silent, we spoke up. And instead of accepting limitations, we worked collaboratively to find pathways forward. Our work is not about short-term wins. It is about building systems that endure, conversations that continue, and leadership that evolves with the needs of our student body. And as we look ahead, the spring 2026 semester will be a season of momentum, transition, and student-driven progress. One of the most important moments coming up in the 2026 season is the SGA elections. This will be your opportunity to choose the next generation of leaders who will carry forward the torch. And I encourage every student that's listening online, sitting here today, stay connected with us on all platforms so you don't miss out on key dates, candidate announcements, debates, and the opportunities for you to get involved. Because your voice matters and your vote will help shape the future of this campus. In addition to elections, as mentioned by our Chief Justice, we will also be launching a student referendum really soon focused on revising and modernizing the SGA Constitution. So this is not just a procedural update, but it's a chance to strengthen the foundation of student governance for years to come. But we cannot do this alone. We will need your input as students, your feedback, and your participation to ensure that this Constitution reflects the needs, the values, and the priorities of today's student body. This semester will also be about execution, turning policy into action, because over the past year, I have approved the policies addressing ADA accessibility, as we mentioned, parking concerns, dining improvements, and several other areas that directly impact student life. Now, we move into the phase where these policies are implemented, monitored, and refined to ensure that they deliver real results for our campus. Some exciting news. I'm excited to share that we have 2 major launches coming soon in partnership with auxiliary services. But wait, while I can't reveal what the full details are just yet, I can say this, that these initiatives will significantly enhance the student experience and address longstanding needs on campus. And we are eager to unveil them in the coming weeks. The State of the Hill is not a conclusion. It is a checkpoint, a moment to pause, to reflect, and to recommit the work ahead. This year, we made it a priority to strengthen it, not only what we do, but how we present ourselves as student leaders. One of the major focuses of this administration has been the complete rebranding of the Student Government Association, because we recognized early it's not only about what you do, but it's about how you show up, because branding builds credibility and trust and connection. So through a comprehensive refresh of our visual identity, including the official logo, the seal, and overall design language, we set out to create an image that reflects the professionalism, purpose, and the legacy of student leadership at Prairie View A&M University. So this updated branding honors our university history while positioning SGA as a modern, transparent, and student-centered organization. Can y'all please give our marketing team a round of applause? It creates consistency across our communications, increased recognition of our work, and reinforces a simple truth, that student government is not distant, student government is not symbolic, and student government is not ceremonial. But it is accountable, it is active, and it is here to serve. And at the heart of service is execution. The job of the executive branch is straightforward: to execute. Execute policy, execute initiatives, and execute on the promises that we made to the students who entrusted us with this responsibility. So as we move forward, we carry the lessons of this year and last year, the momentum of our progress, and the commitment to building a stronger, safer, and more unified Prairie View A&M University. The hill is rising, so students, faculty, staff, I'm going to ask you, are you ready to rise with it? Thank you. But before I step away from the podium, I do want to acknowledge some special guests in the house as well. We have our Prairie View A&M University Royal Court. May you please stand to be recognized. That is the everlasting court of Prairie View A&M University. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much for your continued collaboration and the work that we do together. We also want to acknowledge, we did it a little bit earlier, but the Texas Southern University Student Government Association, please stand to be recognized. Thank you so much for your continued support. Funny story, at the top of this year, we were able to collaborate. One of our first collaborations was with TSU, but I know we have a little game coming up soon, but this is about unity and being connected, so we're gonna keep it there, all right? One more time, PV. Thank y'all, y'all have a great evening.
Now it's time for the dance ensemble, correct?
Yeah.
Keep playing the music, keep playing the music.
Can we give one more round of applause for all of our speakers tonight? We will now have a performance by the Classic Dance Ensemble. The Classic Dance Ensemble, known as CDE, is a nonprofit co-ed student pre-professional collegiate dance company founded in 1989.
The mission of CDE is to achieve excellence through dance by portraying a commitment to discipline, technique, and dance education.
Ms. Sherry Harper is currently the academic dance coordinator and director for the university's pre-professional collegiate dance company. Allow them 5 minutes to set up, but please